So luspatercept is a drug that's already FDA approved to treat anemia in myelodysplastic syndromes and in thalassemia. And in myelofibrosis, we conducted a phase 2 trial of 95 patients in different types of myelofibrosis patients. We had patients who were on ruxolitinib, patients who were off ruxolitinib, patients who were transfusion independent, and patients who were transfusion dependent. So you kind of imagine in your mind a 2x2 table or 4 individual cohorts of patients with myelofibrosis and myelofibrosis-associated anemia. And what we saw that using luspatercept, we could get responses in all 4 of these categories. What we also learned from this trial is that anemia is something that's actually incredibly hard to measure. You would think it's simple, just measure hemoglobin levels, right? But it's actually pretty difficult to measure precisely the benefit from a medication like luspatercept or ESAs or danazol for that matter. And so initially in this trial, we have a very, very stringent endpoint of 84 consecutive days with at least 1.5 grams increase from baseline for those patients who are not transfusion dependent. And for those who are transfusion independent, we wanted to completely eliminate the need for any red cell transfusions for 84 consecutive days. And as you can imagine, things can make the counts temporarily go down there are totally unrelated to myelofibrosis or their myelofibrosis treatments. For example, you could have a patient who is having a really nice response with luspatercept, anemia is up 1.5 grams, all of a sudden they get a viral illness and temporarily will lower the red cell count with subsequent recovery. If that happens within the evaluation period, that patient was deemed a non-responder. So we did do secondary endpoints, kind of looking at a more realistic or pragmatic endpoints. So for those who are not transfusion dependent, we looked at an average increase of 1.5 grams over the evaluation period.